Somehow it is. The previous one that I set up didn't work.
Yes, it is streaming now.
It is streaming?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Notification has come.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so then I will start. Okay, so as I was saying, like, I mean, we'll talk about how to build a personal brand on LinkedIn. When we are talking about any of the aspect, whether it is personal brand building on your own or on LinkedIn, there are three aspects to it. Why you should do whatever that you want to do. That's the first aspect of it, but that is almost hidden. Nobody sees why you are doing what you are doing. You don't know why I'm doing this. I may not know why you are doing whatever that you are doing. That's almost hidden. What we see is the veneer that at the top, how people are doing it. And that's a lot of visibility into that. It is more visible, but it is less powerful. Because if you don't know why you are doing what you are doing, you're actually putting the horse before the cart, and you are not going anywhere. So you need to understand the principles, why you need to do. And when you know that, everything else becomes a lot more clear. And then you can customize whatever that I'm talking about. You can contextualize it, and you can do whatever that you want with that. Okay. Now, first of all, let's understand why you should build a brand. Why brand you? You can say, hey, Joseph, only companies do it. Why should I do it as an individual? If you see in the past, whether it is a industrial, any company, or even in software companies, it used to be a hierarchical structure. There will be a CEO there, and then it will be a VP and directors, and then goes on and like that. It used to be a very much a hierarchical structure. We moved away from that into an agile kind of a model where we are talking about small group of people working together, and they are delivering whatever that needs to be delivered. This is happening today. But what's going to happen is collaboration between people even outside the boundaries of the companies, and then they will deliver whatever that needs to be delivered, products, projects, whatever needs to be delivered. You might say, hey, I don't see that. How can that happen? Now, even today, if you see in companies, it is already happening in some fashion. I'm sure some bit of marketing is given outside. Say, for example, content marketing. Your marketing department might ask other content marketers to write one blog, one ebook, any one of the PR material. They might collaborate with the others, and then they get it. And that particular person is coming in as a contract basis only for one particular deliverable. This is already happening, right? I mean, you might know. Recently, and we do this in any kind of marketing in our company also, but we also do this for, say, for example, any of the emerging technologies. Say, for example, you are into Kubernetes, you want to do that, but you don't have any trained professional, and you don't want to hire somebody for only one project. So what do? You contract it out to somebody else. So they come in, they are outside the boundary of the companies. They are not into your pay structure and all of the other things. And but they come in only for that particular project, and then they go on, right? Now, you might say, okay, Joseph, this is very rare. Why do you think this is going to be permanent? It is. You might know Danny Boyle and A.R. Rahman. They came together for Slumdog Millionaire. They won awards. They went away. They came back again for multiple other projects. They don't work for each other, right? Now you might say again, Joseph, that you are extending it too much. It happens only in Hollywood. Fine, fair enough. What about our other project in India? Other project, I'm sure you all know Nandan Nilekani. Is he a government servant? He's not a government servant. He came in, he developed it, he moved on. Somebody else is now doing that. Similar case with, now you might all know about DigiLocker. DigiLocker is headed by the co-founder of SlideShare now. He's working in government for that particular project. And once this is over, he will move on. It is happening in government. I used to be associated with some of the venture capital firms. Whenever they want to evaluate a startup, they will hire me. I will go evaluate it, and I will come back. I'm not an employee of them. So this is already happening in one fashion or the other. As they say, future is already here. It's just that it is unevenly distributed. So this is happening. If you want to know more with all the examples and everything, I blogged about it, jeju.com/future of jobs, the link I have given. You can go and check that out. This is already happening, as I said. So it is only going to, this COVID and remote working, this is only going to amplify this particular trend. And you're going to see it. If you want to take advantage of it, you better start working on your branding today. So I hope I have convinced you enough that there is a need for you to brand yourself. Now, it is not only for any of these kinds of future work. Even today, if you're working and you want a better job, probably if you do a better branding of yourself, this is going to happen. And we will say in what ways you can do that. Now, that's about why branding. Why on LinkedIn? Can I do it in Instagram? Can I do it in Facebook? Maybe you can, depending on the context. In the current context that I'm talking about professional work. But if you're talking about anything else, probably Facebook and Instagram are okay. But from a professional point of view, LinkedIn is the best platform for you to build your brand. Whether it is generating leads, generating career opportunities, in any of those aspects, LinkedIn is the best. In any statistics that you might take, LinkedIn is the best. Okay. So now having convinced you that you need a brand and you need to do it in LinkedIn, I hope all of you are okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Now, when you are in LinkedIn, this is, we talked about why. Now we are talking about what. What should you focus on? What should you build? You can focus on 3 aspects in LinkedIn. Why should you build a brand and what should you do? One, you can purely focus on sales. Say, for example, you are in sales of a particular company, you are a sales representative in a company. Your primary job or your only job focus is to go and win sales. So you are making cold calls, cold connects, and then you are leaving pings and so on and so forth. I am not doing sales on LinkedIn, so I don't know much and I'm not going to talk about it. The other aspect is you can build a community, like what we are doing now. I post something and then you are all here, we discuss, you debate, you ask questions, I answer. So we build a community around a certain topic, career growth, professional growth, building your life around certain principles. So we can build a community around. So that you can do. That's what I'm doing. That is what I'm good at. You can also do influencer marketing. So once you have a community, then brands might approach you and say, hey, you know what? Can you sell this? Can you recommend this? Can you put a link to it? So influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, all of that can happen as well. I'm not planning to do that, but building community is what I'm interested in, and that is what I'm doing. That is what I'm going to talk about here, how you can do it. But you can also, when I say sales, all the others, one who are not in the sales job, all the others, for us to get a new job, it is sales. To get better opportunities, that is sales. To get better speaking engagement, that is sales. In fact, I mean, that's a example that is here right away. I spoke in a event that was organized by Thai, and Thai Chandigarh put in saying Joseph spoke here and these were the topic. And somebody from CII connected with me, and then she's here and she says, you know what, I want to interview you, or rather invite you for an event in CII. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Build a brand, and here is the example, right? Now, let's take a case study of how somebody is building their community, their profile, their brand in LinkedIn. And I'm going to give you an example for that. This particular person, Emmy, I know her. She used to be investment venture capitalist. Now she's into coaching. I've spoken to her. I know her, and I've taken her example. Very focused profile that she has. So here we are talking about how, what we have seen, how. If you want to build your profile, go to your banner page, top page. That's the first fold. Anybody opens your profile, this is exactly what they see. So you should be able to say who you are from that banner. And you can see here, she has her photo. It is a personal profile. It is not a company profile. So she has her face. Hey, this is me. Then on the banner, she's already talking about coaching, workshops, courses, and app. That is what she does, not anything else. And please understand, you might do 100 things. As I said, she was a venture capitalist, but she's not talking about venture capitalism because she wants to be known as a coach now. She is running workshops now. So she wants to be known for that now. So you might do 100 things, which is okay. I'm taking Sarang as an example because I know him. He might do architecture, maybe some of MarTech, and so many things in his, and maybe some of the startup technology. But he should decide what he wants to be known for. And that is what has to be in the banner. And put that in the banner. And I'm sure if I ask you, and I'm going to ask you, if any of you can randomly share your LinkedIn profile, I'll visit it and I'll tell you, how you can change it. So we will see that. So you can already start posting your LinkedIn on the chat, and I will visit after 1 or 2 slides. But the point is, on the banner, you should be able to give the value. This is who I am. This is why you should connect with me. So that should be there. And then if you see her photo, she says, I'm a coach. And she is showing, fitness and everything. She is showing a kind of an authority. I won a medal. She's showing that I won this medal, right? So a kind of an authority that she's already appealing, and I can say, hey, maybe she's some authority. And then if you see on the banner, she says, we all have 10 minutes. You can find time. You can surpass the goals. And if you see her name, this is the beauty, right? This is the creativity that you can have. Nobody would have thought your name could bring your brand. Here she says Yemi, but in front of it, she has put in a clock. So again, she says, hey, you know what? 10 minutes, time. So she is giving that brand in so many different ways. I hope you are able to understand and appreciate this, right? And then look at her description. When I look at her, the description, when I read the description, it is very clear. She is not saying this is what I am. I'm actually learning from this. Even if you go to my profile today, it doesn't say how I help you. It says I'm a coach. She says, I don't care who I am. I will help you. And then she's also talking about 2 sets of professionals, right? Tech and finance. Not everybody else. I don't know anything about real estate. I don't know about lawyers. I don't know about a ton of other professionals. Hey, if you are tech or if you're finance, talk to me. So she's very clear there. And she says, I help these people to save time and surpass goals. Very clear, right? And she also ends up with saying, we all have 10 minutes. So in the first fold itself, I can understand almost everything about her. And I can decide whether I want to connect with her or not. There is a photo. I know who she is. The banner says what her profile is. There is a little bit of an authority because she is winning a medal. And in her name, she's already emitting her brand. And then very clearly, she puts up what I can do. Now, you might say, hey, I'm going to take Rajat. Rajat might say, hey, I am only a programmer. What can I do? We will see it. We will probably, as a collaboratively, we will write maybe a description for somebody. But this is the first thing. This is the first fold. Anytime somebody opens your profile, this is what they see first. Okay, look at this.
So,
about. Yeah.
Joseph, one more thing I noticed is because I parallelly opened her profile also, is her URL. LinkedIn URL is not something, because normally the LinkedIn URL is, let's say, linkedin.com/Nitin Mukhija for me.
Yeah.
Her LinkedIn profile URL is also ME/Sobieski/CFA-CNS Wellness Self-Care Health Workshop Coaching. So
Yes.
she has even customized her link. So if she shares her LinkedIn profile with anybody, the link, the hyperlink also speaks about her.
Absolutely, in everything she's, and like I mean, I have few other examples, but I'm not going to talk about them now. If you connect with me, I'll share all of those links. But of all the examples that I've seen, she is the one who pops up as the best example for PR, right? The personal branding. Thanks, Nitin, for that. And if you come to her about page, again, very detailed, and you can see, read it. I'll go straight to the point. I can help you do this. What can I do for you? She's not talking about, hey, I was born here, I studied here, I did this, I did that. No. If you don't read anything beyond that, the first paragraph, that's okay. In the first paragraph, she says, this is what I'm doing. I know a little bit about Abhay, so I'm going to, say this. Say probably he could say, what can I do for you? I can help you win patent in least amount of the time. That's it. That's all he can help, and then that's good enough for me to connect with him. If I want to win a patent, I will be with him, right?
That's right.
Rajat can say, I can help you market your product, or rather, I can help you build a product and release to the market as quickly as possible, because he's a programmer, he can do that, right? So what can I do for you? We don't do that. In fact, as I said, even I am learning from her. Maybe we all are talking about everything that we have done and everything else that we can actually offer to others. But here she is very particular. She says, this is what you will get if you connect with me. That's branding. That is what I'm known for. Again, I might do 10 other things that I'm doing, but I am known for this. This is what I want to be known for, right? So I might, so if you come to me and talk to me as a parent of a kid, I will talk about it. If you come to me and talk about technology for startups, I will do it. But what do I want to be known for in LinkedIn? That is important. And that is what we are going to put up, right? And then she says, okay, what will I do for you? And why me? Why should you talk to me? Okay, I'm saying I can help you surpass your goals, but there are a ton of other coaches. There are a ton of other people who offer the service. What makes me, a special person? And she goes and says this. I walk the talk. And then she goes on explaining she was managing a large venture fund. And then she talks about all of that. Like, I mean, she has won a lot of medal while doing the sports, while managing the fund. A lot of times that doesn't happen for us. And then she is also putting testimonials, what others are talking about her. And then she says, okay, if all of this is interesting to you, reach out to me. Here is where you can reach out to me. Very clear and in a concise manner, she has talked about everything that you need to know about her. Correct? This is how it has to be. Okay. And then next, so we have seen the first fold, we have seen the about. When we come down, you would have noticed a featured section. Many a times we do not use featured section at all. But look at her, book a call as a coach. That is where my selling comes in. So she's combining. I told you can build a community and you can build your sales pipeline as well. And she's doing that. And she says, you can see here, what are the two featured ones? One, she's saying, I coach somebody. You can have a look at it. And you can book a call. Two things, featured. What is there in your featured profile, featured section? We will look at some of these things, but you can see here, every single section in LinkedIn can be customized, can be modified to emit your branding. What is your brand, right? And then finally, experience. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the other sections. There are about 15 sections. You might know about skills, endorsements, education, and all of that. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see, and you can see this profile also on LinkedIn. Here, if you see in experience, again, she's talking about coach. And what does she say? Not what I have done, but what I have accomplished. What is the outcome I came in? I get ton of CVs for interviews. I interview a ton of people every single time, even at a senior level. VPs at senior level, what do they say? I did this, I did this, I did this. I designed a form, I coded this. Nobody is scared about it. What I want to know is, what did you accomplish? What's the problem that you solved? And you can see here, she says in Advisor Leaf Global Fintech, she says increased financial resilience for refugees, right? I mean, that's there. And then if you want to know more, you can always go and ask her, right? So in your experience, whatever that section is, please put in what you have done. What you have accomplished, not what you are doing or what you have done, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go to some of these profiles that you have sent. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take, okay, Abhay Goyal. I'm going to take Abhay Goyal's profile. Abhay, is it okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Abhay's screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is fantastic. The only thing that I would say is probably on the banner,
Yes.
if you can put in, what it is. Like, I mean, yes, Logic App is good, but I still don't know. If I look at only the profile, I still don't know what you do.
Okay.
Right? But here it is very clear: patents and trademarks and sales consultant. Right? This is a little conflicting. Say, for example, you are also saying patents and trademarks and sales consultant. Probably you can pick one. I think now probably you should only talk about patents and trademarks, and you can push sales consultants down below.
Okay.
So this is one. And yeah, so I'm going to take another one again. Yeah, so here you can see he's talking about hiring. It is there. And then World IP Day, that's a featured one, right? Because he's from IP industry, so he's talking about this, right? And then some of the activities and everything. I'm going to look at somebody else. Okay. Let me look at somebody else. By Hari Krishna. Okay. I'm going to look at Hari Krishna. Okay. So if you look at Hari Krishna, Hari. So one, yeah, it says database, so I can understand, you are a techie person. So which is good. Even though it is not very obvious, but it is good. Like, anybody who comes to your profile should be a tech person, so they know that, hey, this guy knows everything about database, which is good enough. Maybe your photo, if it could bring your face a little more better, it would be good. Senior database engineer, fantastic, right? And maybe again, if at all, if you want to bring something from ME, maybe you can put in the database icon or the font into your thing, which might be a little different from everybody else. Every other tech person is going to have this. So if you can customize it to some extent, probably that is good. So which is again, like, good. Like, you are saying at Tranter, which is where I am, and then I'm talking about. The only thing that I would say here again, like, as I said, what you accomplished here as a senior software engineer in Tranter, what you accomplished. Maybe you are still working, so you you are still working on few things. But say, for example, on your the earlier one, what did you accomplish? Not what you have done, but what have you accomplished? That would be good. Again, license and certifications is fine. If you can get some recommendations, that would be even better, because then it for anybody else, it will be even anybody who is looking into it, it'll be even better. Okay. Any questions on? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going back to anyone else. Did anyone else share? Just give me a minute. Nitin. Okay. Let me look at Nitin. Okay. So Nitin, maybe banner you should change. Banner is the blank default banner that it is there. Very, very smiling face, which is nice. This is how it has to be. Very appealing, very inviting, which is how it has to be. Fantastic. You are, the whole stuff. Again, if at all, I would say, because your whole experience is on fintech and then finance in thing, maybe in your name, you can put in that icon or font, which comes about with the dollars or with the with some layers of gold, something like that you can put in, which is good. I think you can remove this keen learner. Everything else is okay. But much more than that, if you could actually put in and say what you have accomplished or what would you accomplish for anybody, that probably, because maybe because you are not looking for a job, this is okay. But otherwise, this might you can put in. This is good. Again, like I'm heading this, which is good. Wonderful. The only thing that I would say is probably the banner. If you can change the banner, that would be good.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Joseph.
Yeah. Lovely. Anybody else? I think that's all. Okay. So now let's go back to this. Okay. Now you have done, hold on a minute. Okay. Now you have done all of these things. You have put in a profile, you have put in a featured. That's all is okay. That's all like saying, putting a banner for a hotel and, being there. But how do you continue to pop up your profile, pop up your name for the people who are connecting with you? Because as you know, we all connect with people, and some people are dormant and we forget. Out of sight is out of mind. So we forget about them. So how do you continue to be there? So that is where you need to continue to write. You to write. So that's where I said in the, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can view the previous session. And in the previous session, Mr. Khurana was there. We talked about how anybody can get started with writing. And he gave a very simple formula, LION. L is for learning. We all read so many articles. So continue to read, learn, innovate. In startup, there is some concept called bundling and unbundling. So when you are reading an article, say for example, you are reading an article on blockchain. Now, can you unbundle it and say, if it is talking about blockchain in every industry, can you zoom in on blockchain in finance or blockchain in real estate? Only that. Or if something is talking only about blockchain in finance, can you also talk about all the other aspect as well? Or if you are a lawyer and you are reading something about blockchain, can you say how blockchain will help or not help lawyers? Or say, for example, Abhay, how blockchain will help patent to retain the patents. So maybe Abhay can talk about it, right? So you can do this bundling and unbundling, and that's how people are going to be interested. People want to hear from you, right? The other one is outwork. You should work. A lot of people talk about all the shortcuts to success. I don't know any shortcut to success. The only shortcut I know is hard work. Outwork everybody else. And in fact, I do know some of the very successful entrepreneurs here. They work much more than me. They start at 5, they work until 2. They have large bungalows, multiple cars. They have, thinking from outside, looking from outside, you might think, they are enjoying life. They are not working. They are sitting in the sofa and enjoying. But having worked with them and working with them, I know that they are working much more harder than anybody else, right? So outwork. The third one is outwork. The last one is LION. The last one is network. Use your writing, connect to people, and network. So as I gave you an example, right? I gave a talk. I wrote about it. I shared it with Mr. Khurana, and Khuranaji shared it with so many other people that he knew. So I am being visible to them. So that is how you can use LION model. And again, you can view that in my channel, in my show channel. So writing is the way by which you can continue to be on the top of the feed. You can be on the top of the minds of people who are interested in you or with whom you want to be interested in. You want to impress somebody as to build a community, or to invite somebody as a speaker, or you want to sell. Any of those aspects, you can continue to do that by writing. Again, in the first show that I had, one of the things that I said, which I learned from Jeff Bezos, is writing. Writing is a superpower. Again, you can view that in my channel. Again, it's free. You can go and view that. But In writing, this Justin Welsh is another guy whom I follow, and I've been, I know him as well. You can see how he hooks you with writing. He writes, you should learn how to debate. That's it. That's how he writes. He doesn't write all the big one paragraph. He writes one sentence. And if you go and follow him and read all of his posts, you will see he will write few words sentences, and he will hook you. He will make you read the next sentence, and again and again, right? Why? Because LinkedIn puts shorten all of these and shows only the one that you see in the first screenshot. Then it goes, when you have to click see more to see the full post. And again, you can see the full post also. It's all single sentences. But in that, he's able to grab your attention. So write in that particular fashion. Again, you can use that lion model, right? So say, for example, after this session, you can go to LinkedIn and say, I learned lion model for writing. That's it. That's the first sentence. I learned lion model today about writing. What does lion stand for? Now that's a hook. And then you can say, learn, innovate, outwork, and network. And then you can go on explaining that. Or any of the other aspect also, if you are able to write it, that is when it is going to, it's going to come up. You continue to write. Persistency should be there. And then hook them with writing. And that is how you're going to build a community. Not only that from Justin, but he engages with people. You can see he has 181 comments. Half of them are comments or discussions that he is having with the people who are all commenting. So here she says, for the same post, learn to debate, and somebody is asking, is it healthy? Online debates are healthy. Yeah, very normal, because there could be a lot of trolls. You could get into a vicious cycle. So is it healthy? That's a very valid question. He goes and explains whatever his mental view is, his perspective of that. So you engage. That's how, again, everybody is going to continue to engage with you, because you don't seem like somebody untouchable. Like, you are a faraway leader. You have accomplished something. I'm not going to talk to you and all. But here he appears as a human. He comes in and then he's working with people, right? He's talking to people. He's engaging with people. Now you might say, okay, fine. This is all fine, Joseph. What do I write? I'm going to give you, again, from Jeff Bezos. You can go to this particular URL and read about it, or you can go to the first show that I had and you can read about it there. Jeff Bezos is the template for what you can write, what you can share on LinkedIn. In his annual letters, one, he's writing about his vision. 1997, mind you, this 1997, he's writing about his vision. He is talking about personalization. And even today, personalization is still happening. But in 1997, he talked about that. You can talk about what is your vision. Maybe, say, for example, if you are into procurement, what would happen in procurement because of COVID, because of remote working? What would happen? You can share that. You can be wrong. It's okay. But you are putting yourself out there, and then that is how engagement is going to happen. Probably you will learn. If you're wrong, you will learn. Many times I get corrected and I learn. So say, for example, Abhay can write, on patents and everything. What would be the future? Why should somebody go for a patent? Is patent only for startups? Is patents only for companies or startups, or for personal individuals also? Can we get it? So he can write about that. And then he can go and say, you know what? And this is true. China used to be known for imitation of the American products. Now, today, because of all of that, they have learned so much that today they file so much of patent. They file more patents than the US. Now, what does that mean for India? He can put it out. So maybe India should imitate products and then thereby build our capabilities and competencies so that we can arrive at some form of competency by ourselves, so that we can build a lot of patent. He can put that in. He can engage with people, maybe like his prospects. They would appreciate, they will come in, they will talk, and then they will come to know about him, and he will surface out, right?
Yes.
And then, so somewhere down the line, he's talking about investing. He says, I only focus on, Jeff Bezos, he's saying, I only focus on cash flows. Why only cash flow? He goes and explains it. maybe you can also talk about some metric that you are focusing on. So say, for example, Sumit, he might say in Scrum, everybody is talking about velocity. Velocity is not the right metric to focus on. Something else is the right metric to focus on, right? And then he can talk about it, why and what, and then people will engage with him on that. And Sumit does this quite well in LinkedIn. I mean, if you are on, you should follow him on LinkedIn. He's a very interesting personality. And then Jeff Bezos talks about flywheel, the strategy, how he is building his flywheel for his business. And in fact, I have embraced it. I also have a coaching. I have a coaching called Gravitas Wins. I teach this and even more. And I have taken this flywheel as a concept. And he talks about it to a very large extent, to a detail he's talking about it. If you're interested, all of these annual letters are free. You should download and read. You will not get a better MBA coaching than this. This is awesome, fantastic. And if you want to have a gist of this, you can watch my first show where I talk about 5 lessons I learned from Amazon's Jeff Bezos. And or you can read this particular blog post also, Build in Public Bezos, which I put it up in my blog. He writes so much. And then he talks about tactics, how they make decisions. As he says, speed matters in business. So how do they make decisions? You might agree, disagree, that's okay. But that gives you the perspective. That is what you can write. This is the template you can take, and you can talk about all of these things. Hopefully, like Naman, I've given you a template, what you can write, and hopefully in the next 1 month or so, you're going to continue to write. Okay. As I said, I have learned a lot from that flywheel that Jeff Bezos talked about. And this is a flywheel that I apply in my life. And if you see my LinkedIn post, mostly it'll all orient towards this. So my flywheel is wealth, insights, network, and self-control. So for your successful life, obviously you need wealth. Wealth, I'm not talking about riches. You could be rich, but you may not be wealthy. For me, wealth is ability to experience life. Wealth is discretionary time. I only work 3 days a week. The other days I spend time with my kids. They are growing up. I spend all the time with them. That's wealth for me. Insights. Today you got something about branding. That's insight. Then how can you use that to network? Because we all need relations. Every success is social. Only when you have people who will cheer you up for your success, then when the number is high, you will be successful. So you need relations, network. But you also need self-control, because there are a ton of examples where they reached a particular height and then they fell down. Even in India, Satyam Raju, there are quite a lot of these examples. ICCA president, all of these people, they came up, but then they fell down because they didn't have self-control. So you need this, and as a flywheel, you build it up, and that's when the breakthrough happens. And if you go to so this is my worldview. This is my framework. So if you go to my LinkedIn, everything that you see will be around this particular topics: wealth, insights, network, and self-control. And I teach this as a cohort-based course. And if you are interested, check out this particular site, gravitaswins.com. And Nitin is a student from there. There are quite a few people here, Mr. Kurana and Mr. Sarang. All of them are students of that particular course. You can talk to them to find it. Okay, that's it. That's all I have, and we will discuss. We will have if you have any questions, we'll discuss. If you go to this site, jeju.com and /subscribe, if you subscribe to that, I will make an ebook of this particular whole session that I had, and I will send it to you whenever I make it ready. Probably in about 5 days to 10 days, it should be ready, and I will send it to you. Okay? Hopefully this has been useful. If you have any questions, let me know.
Sir, kindly share the name of the lady again that you discussed in the first few slides.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So if you have, I think you are registered for this particular course. So I'll send an email to all of the people, and it'll be there. I'll send that across.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Will do. Anyone has any questions? Let me know.
I have one, Joseph. Can I?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So we have learned a lot of things with respect to LinkedIn. So let's say I have created all those things.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, like, after building all such things, and you say we are progressing or not progressing, how should I track? Is it the number of views that we receive on the profile, or is it the number of requests that come to us? What should be our method to know?
Okay, very valid point. And because you had that data practice in your company, you are coming back to that metrics, which is nice. So there are two types of metrics that you can measure. One metric is the outcome metrics, and the other one is journey metrics metrics which leads you to that outcome. Both you need to track, and you need to increase those metrics, because if you're only focusing on the outcome but the journey once doesn't work, you will never be able to meet that outcome. So in that particular sense, say for example, for me, how many people are subscribing to my blog? So I told you, for me, it is the community building is my metric. That's why I'm there in the LinkedIn. So how many people are subscribing? How many people are coming to these shows? That's my metric. But I cannot measure only that particular metric, because there are going to be metrics that are going to lead to that particular outcome metric. So which is, as you said, how many people are viewing my profile, how many people are sending me the request, how many people are messaging me. Those are some of the metrics. But those metrics are only a leading indicators towards the outcome metric. So those are the two metrics that I look at. If at all I am very much concerned, I'm much more concerned about the outcome metric, not the leading metric.
Yeah, thanks, Joseph. That helps.
I have also a question.
Yeah, please.
I have been focusing mainly on Twitter and Facebook, as I actually didn't know that it is a career-oriented platform. LinkedIn is a career-oriented platform kind of thing, which I recently got to know. I have only, I don't know, say 500 or something kind of followers over there, or friends over there. I have even not seen. I will have to see one. At Facebook, I have 15,000 friends. Mm, because it has been building. I have been building it over years. I have 3 profiles in Facebook, because I cannot add more than 5,000 in one profile. So, but suppose I update my LinkedIn profile. How do I reach out to people? How do people reach out to me? How do I build a community over there?
Yeah, one, obviously the platforms, what matters is where is your audience, what you are trying to do, and where is your audience. Knowing you already, again, we can have a lengthier discussion, but knowing you, probably, yes, Facebook is probably a platform for you much more than the LinkedIn. But I do see in LinkedIn, you can do a lot more impact than anywhere else, probably even as a coach, may not be as sales, but maybe as a coach. So that's one. I think you should focus on LinkedIn as well. That's one. Two is that how do you do it? Again, I am connected to, I think, 1,500 people. Maybe 1,500 people. Probably about 100 people is what I know. Rest everybody gets connected to me. Some of them I have not even known. So as I said, you continue to post, continue to deliver value. People are going to connect with me, with you, and they are going to say, hey, can you answer this particular question? I saw this particular quote of you, or I saw this post of you. What do you mean by this? How is it applicable to me? So if you can give them, you get on a dialogue with them, and that will happen. Almost it works like any other platform. The other aspect is, yes, you can also reach out. So say for example, I know you may not be interested in it because of you are already an accomplished person. But what I do is, say for example, like this Emmy, I might reach out to her and say, hey, I like whatever that you are doing. Can we get on a call and talk to you? And then so that's how I reach out. So you can reach out to people also on LinkedIn.
Great. That is great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
Wonderful. Good. Ajay, you send me a message. Yes, the recording will be sent to all the emails, because I may not know who are all here. But all the emails, if you have subscribed or you subscribe to my blog that I said, I'm going to send it again, jeju.com/subscribe. So if you subscribe to that, it will be there. Okay. I will send
Right.
the recording, all of the details.
Right. So JJ, I had a question.
Yeah,
Here.
please.
Right. So like most of our customers are in United States. So does that also mean that whatever I should be writing on my LinkedIn, which I am kind of doing, should be more prevalent to the context of United States?
I mean, knowing your business and profile, I think you should reach out to two sets of people. One, I'm sure you are also interested in building employee base, attracting talent. So that's one.
Right.
The other side is, yes, obviously, like your sales happens primarily US perspective. So yes, these two things is what you need to do. So whatever that you are putting in from an Indian perspective has to be with the objective. Again, that's why I said, right, the principles, the why, that is the core of what you are doing. So from whatever that you are sharing from an Indian perspective has to be for attracting talent. From whatever that you are putting from a US perspective will have to be for attracting sales. So those are the two aspects of it.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Anyone else has any questions? We have 10 more minutes.
This is Yogesh Joseph.
Hey, Yogesh.
Hey, so I do have a question. Like, there are a lot of areas you practice in your experience. If you do have experience more than like a decade or so, you can expert in coding management processes. So which part of your expertise area should be rendered the most?
See, as of now, which two things, right? Which one you want to highlight? Which one you want to be known for? Right? So say, for example, again, there are multiple, there are three different sets of profiles that I see. One is as an employee. Another is like me, who are independent, who wants to build their own independent brand, individual brand. And then there is third one is like Abhay, who wants to build, who is heading a business, who wants to build a business as well as attract talent. Those are the three types of people that are in LinkedIn. Now, if you're an employee, obviously you do, I mean, say for example, you have 15 years of experience. You are a senior technical architect. Say for example, I'm just making this up, okay? Senior technical architect. Now, it doesn't matter that you did a coding, in .NET or Python and all of those things. It is assumed when you have worked, when you have worked for 15 years, and when you have come to a level of a senior technical architect, certain things are assumed that you have already done. So you should target for the next jump that you want to have. Whatever that you want to project yourself as, that is what you should put on. And or say, for example, you are starting to build a community. As I said, maybe you are also seeing in the future, I might start a business on my own. So then focus on that particular element of it. So that's what I would say.
Got it. Thanks. I got my answer, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Hey, Sargunam, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We studied together. Dr. Sargunam and I, we studied together. Thank you very much. If none of you have any further questions, I will close the session. Is it okay? Good.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will have these sessions on a weekly basis. So please, every Thursday, 7 to 8, please leave your calendar, adjust your calendar so that you can come and attend. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank
you. Thank you, Joseph.
Joseph. Wonderful
Thank you.
session.
Thanks,
Bye,
Joseph.
all.
Bye,
Thank
JJ.
you.
Thank you.
Could you please share Mr. Nitin's number with me?
Nitin's
Mr.
number.
Joseph?